My wife left a note saying she needs freedom. I froze our accounts instead of chasing her. So my wife left me 3 days ago. No fight, no warning, just a note clipped to the kitchen table with the garage door opener. 5 lines, handwritten neat as always. I need space to find myself. This isn't about you, but I need my freedom. Don't try to contact me. I'll reach out when I'm ready. I'm a hardware engineer. I troubleshoot problems for a living, and my first thought wasn't where did she go or what did I do wrong. It was, this is calculated. We've been married 4 years. Olivia's a content editor, works from home mostly, always talking about authentic living and following your truth, the kind of stuff that sounds deep but means nothing. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but she's impulsive. 2 years ago, she wanted to quit her job and become a yoga instructor. Before that, it was pottery. Before that, freelance travel writing. I supported all of it, but nothing stuck. She'd get excited, then bored, then need the next thing. I thought I was the constant. Apparently not. So when I found the note, here's what I did instead of calling her hundreds times. I called Rosa, a divorce lawyer my buddy recommended after his messy split last year. Made an appointment for Friday. Then I called our bank and reported suspicious account activity. Not a exactly lie, since I had no idea what Olivia might do next. They froze everything pending review. I transferred my direct deposit to a separate account I'd opened years ago as a what-if fund. Olivia never knew about it. The house, apartment, technically, we've been renting with a lease purchase option. I'm the only one on the lease because Olivia's credit was rough when we moved in. That's going to matter. She took some stuff with her. Jewelry her mom gave her, clothes, laptop, our nice camera, but she left her coffee maker. She lives on coffee. And she left the vintage floor lamp I gave her for our 3rd anniversary just knocked over in the middle of the living room. Not packed, not placed, abandoned, like it meant nothing. She left her journal behind though. I found it on the bookshelf, still open to a recent entry. I can't imagine how someone forgets something like that, but with Olivia, who knows? I didn't read it, maybe I should have, but I took photos of it being there, the date, everything. Documentation, just in case. The last 2 months have been weird now that I'm replaying everything. She started going to these networking dinners for content creators. Once, maybe twice a week. I never questioned it. She's always been social, and her career actually requires connections. She'd come home energized, talking about collaborations and opportunities. I was happy for her. 3 weeks ago, she suddenly asked about our lease purchase agreement. Specifically, when the option window closed and what happened if we didn't exercise it. Things like that. I explained we had 6 months left, and if we didn't buy, we'd just keep renting or move. She nodded and changed the subject. At the time, I thought she was worried about money. Now I'm wondering what she was really asking. Last week, 5 days before she left, we had dinner at home. I made stir fry. She barely ate, kept checking her phone. When I asked if something was wrong, she said, "Do you ever feel like we're just going through the motions?" I said something generic about every marriage having routines, asked if she wanted to plan a trip. She just shook her head and said, "Never mind." That was our last real conversation. I haven't told anyone yet, not my parents, not our friends. I took 3 personal days from work, told them I had a family emergency. Now I'm sitting here in our apartment, my apartment, trying to figure out if I'm handling this right or if I'm being paranoid. The apartment is quiet. She was always playing music, always moving around, leaving coffee cups everywhere. Now it's just me and the hum of the refrigerator. I keep walking past that knocked-over lamp and I don't know why it makes me so angry. It's not about the lamp. It's about the carelessness. Like 6 years can just be tipped over and left behind. Part of me wonders if she's having some kind of crisis. But another part, the engineer part, keeps noticing details. The note was too clean. She packed systematically, took her passport, for example. This wasn't a breakdown. This was a plan. And if someone plans to leave, they probably have somewhere to go. Someone to go to, maybe. I don't have proof of that, just a feeling. The networking dinners, the phone checking, the sudden interest in our lease terms. It adds up to something I don't want to think about yet. My meeting with Rosa is tomorrow. I've got bank statements, the lease agreement, photos of the apartment as she left it, photos of that note. I've got a timeline of her distance, though I don't know if that matters legally. Mostly I've got questions. How fast can this move? What am I entitled to? Can she come back and claim half of everything if I'm the only one who's been paying rent for the last 6 years? She contributed to groceries and utilities, but her income was inconsistent, so I covered the big stuff. Am I wrong to immediately go legal instead of trying to find her and work it out? Everyone says marriage is about fighting for each other, but she literally wrote, "Don't contact me." I'm not chasing someone who planned an exit strategy. I'm protecting myself. Right. The worst part is I keep checking my phone. Not because I want her to call, but because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. A text saying she cleaned out the account. A call from a lawyer, something. This silence feels like she's waiting for me to panic, to chase, to beg. I'm not doing it. Edit. To clarify, since people are asking, no history of mental health issues that I know of. She's been distant for maybe 2 months, but I chalked it up to work stress. And yes, I know the account freeze sounds harsh, but we have about $43K in savings plus checking. I'm not about to let that disappear while she finds herself. The networking dinners were with colleagues. She mentioned names, but I never met them. One name came up a lot recently, Bryce, some team lead in advertising. She said he was really good at brand strategy or something. I didn't think anything of it at the time. But now I'm thinking about it. Update 1. Thanks for all the responses on the original post. Some of you called it immediately. You were right. I wish you weren't. Quick timeline. I met with Rosa last Friday. She's sharp, no nonsense, told me everything I did with the accounts was legal and smart. We started paperwork for legal separation, which is faster than divorce in my state and gives me the same protections while we figure things out. She said document everything, don't initiate contact, let Olivia make the first move. I'd already planned a sailing trip for last weekend, solo, just me and a borrowed boat for 3 days. I've done this a few times when I need to think. No cell service once you're out far enough. I almost canceled, but Rosa said it was good timing. Let the wheels turn while you're unreachable, she said, so I went. Didn't sleep much. Mostly sailed during the day, anchored at night, stared at nothing. It helped, honestly. The silence out there isn't like the silence in the apartment. It doesn't have history in it. When I got back Tuesday morning, I had 4 missed calls from a number I didn't recognize and 1 voicemail. No calls from Olivia. The voicemail was from a guy introducing himself as a friend of Olivia's, wanting to talk about the situation. I didn't call back. I forwarded it to Rosa. She said keep it, might be useful. I had another meeting with Rosa scheduled for Tuesday afternoon at her office downtown. I parked a block away, walked over, and that's when I saw her. Olivia, sitting on the steps of the building across the street crying. And there was a guy next to her with his arm around her shoulders. Pressed slacks, nice watch, that kind of polished look. He was on his phone, looking frustrated, not at her. I'd never seen him before, but I knew, just knew. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds. She didn't see me. I wanted to cross the street. I wanted to ask what the hell she thought she was doing. I wanted to know if this was the freedom she'd been looking for. Instead, I walked into Rosa's building. My hands were shaking when I hit the elevator button. She asked if I was okay when I got to her office. I said I'd just seen my wife with someone else. She nodded like she'd expected it. Let's build the case, she said. That moment did something to me. Seeing her crying on his shoulder like she was the victim in this, like I'd done something to her. The anger I'd been keeping at bay just crystallized into something colder. I wasn't sad anymore. I was done. Here's where it gets worse. When I got home, I opened the laptop we shared for streaming and household stuff. Olivia never logged out of her accounts on it. She always forgot to. I wasn't snooping initially. I was going to watch something to take my mind off what I'd seen. But her Instagram was open in the browser. Messages, lots of them. With Bryce Morrison, advertising, fits the profile of that polished guy on the steps, going back 3 months. Started professional, talking about content strategy and brand partnerships. I love your perspective on authentic storytelling, he wrote. She responded with work stuff at first, then it shifted. By 6 weeks ago, it was different. I can't stop thinking about you from him. You make me feel alive again from her. She sent him photos, selfies from our bedroom, her in the black dress I bought her for her birthday. He sent hotel names with next Friday, and she replied with heart emojis. One message from her dated a week before she left. I think I'm ready, I just need to figure out the logistics. Him, take your time, I'm not going anywhere. Logistics, that's what I was. A logistics problem, I didn't read all of it. I didn't need to, but I took screenshots of everything. Dates, timestamps, metadata showing when messages were sent and from where. Then I checked her credit card history, still had login access from when I helped her dispute a charge last year. Hotel bookings, the Riverside Inn 3 times, Mason Steakhouse, $340 for dinner for 2, Belvista Hotel just outside the city, all on days she told me she had networking events or meeting a client. The credit card charges were on the card I added her to as an authorized user, my credit line. She was financing the affair with my money. I printed everything, 43 pages in total. I put it in a folder labeled Evidence, Olivia, and brought it to Rosa the next morning. She went through it methodically, taking notes, occasionally stopping to photograph a page with her phone. Finally, she looked up and said, "This is ammunition. She'll want to settle quickly. The adultery timeline, the financial aspect, this is strong, very strong." She explained the strategy. File for legal separation citing abandonment and infidelity, use the evidence to negotiate a favorable division of assets, get her removed from the lease officially, then execute the purchase option on the apartment in my name only. She left voluntarily, she's been unfaithful, she spent marital funds on the affair. You're in a good position, Rosa said. Don't feel guilty about protecting yourself. I didn't feel guilty. I felt vindicated. I still haven't contacted Olivia. She hasn't contacted me. But yesterday I got another voicemail from the same number. This time the guy, Bryce, presumably said, "Look man, I think we need to talk this through like adults. Olivia's going through something and she needs support, not legal threats. Call me back." The nerve of this guy, calling me man like we're buddies. Telling me my wife needs support after helping her blow up our marriage. I saved it. Sent it to Rosa. She laughed. Not a happy laugh, more like recognition. "He's worried," she said. "He should be. That voicemail shows he knows about the legal action, which means Olivia told him. He's involved. This helps establish their relationship was more than just emotional." I also notified our landlord properly, sent him a certified letter with a copy of Olivia's note, and explained she'd voluntarily abandoned the residence. He called me that afternoon, actually sympathetic. We talked through the lease modification. Since I'm the only signatory and the only one who's been consistently paying rent, he agreed to file paperwork removing her as an occupant. Once that's done, the lease purchase option becomes unambiguously mine alone. He's also agreed to let me exercise it early if I want, though Rosa says to wait until the separation is finalized. The apartment feels different now. Not sad, not angry, just resolute. I replaced that floor lamp with a bookshelf yesterday. Small change, but it felt necessary. She left it behind. I'm not keeping her debris. I'm building something else. I don't know what happens next. Rosa says Olivia will probably reach out once she realizes the accounts are frozen and her access to the apartment is legally terminated. I'm not looking forward to that conversation, but I'm prepared for it. I've got documentation. I've got legal representation. I've got evidence. She's got Bryce and whatever story she's telling herself about freedom. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since my last update. Things moved fast. Olivia finally made contact last Monday. Not with me directly, not through calls or texts. She went straight to the apartment. I was at work when the landlord called. He said someone matching her description had tried to use a key to get in, but the locks had been changed per the lease modification. She knocked for a while, then called him. He told her she'd need to coordinate through legal counsel since she was no longer a tenant. She apparently didn't take that well. Started crying, saying it was her home too, that I couldn't just kick her out. He reminded her she'd left voluntarily and provided written notice. She hung up on him. She finally called me directly 3 hours later. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail that I've listened to once. Lots of "I didn't mean for it to happen like this, and we need to talk, and this is insane, Freddie." Then she tried to log into our bank account and discovered it was frozen. She called again. I still didn't answer. Rosa said let it all go to voicemail, create a record. The next day she called from a different number, Bryce's, presumably. I answered that one just to see. It was her. "You froze our accounts. Are you serious right now?" I kept my voice even. "You left. You said not to contact you. I'm following your instructions and protecting my assets." "Your assets? We're married, Freddie. Half of that is mine. Half was yours before you spent marital funds on hotel rooms with him. Now your lawyer can explain what adultery does to asset division." She went quiet. Then, "I want to come home. We need to talk face to face. You don't live here anymore. If you want your remaining personal items, coordinate with Rosa. Her contact information was in the legal separation papers you should have received by now." "I never got any papers. They were sent to your mother's address. That's where you listed as your residence on your last credit card statement." Rosa's work, she checked recent billing addresses. She started crying. I hung up. I told Rosa about the call. She wasn't surprised. "She thought you'd keep the accounts open," Rosa said. "She expected to leave, live her new life, and still have access to your money. A lot of people think like that. They want the affair and the financial security. When you froze everything immediately, you destroyed her plan." That made sense. A mutual friend confirmed it later that week. Apparently Olivia had been telling people she was taking a break to focus on herself, but staying financially connected until she figured things out. Translation: she wanted to test drive life with Bryce using my income as a safety net. Bryce makes decent money in advertising, but not enough to cover the lifestyle Olivia had gotten used to. She needed me to keep funding it. Rosa filed the full separation petition that week with all the evidence attached. Abandonment, infidelity, misuse of marital funds. In our state, that matters for asset division. Her lawyer, she got one, finally reached out to negotiate. They wanted a 50-50 split of everything. Rosa laughed and sent back our counter. Olivia gets her personal property, her car, which her parents bought her, and $8,000 from savings. I keep the apartment lease purchase, the remaining savings, retirement accounts, all in my name anyway since I'm the only one who's been consistently employed, and all household items. Her lawyer tried to argue she deserved more. Rosa submitted the evidence. Credit card charges for hotels during the affair. Instagram messages. Timeline showing premeditation. The lawyer stopped arguing. The mediation meeting was this Tuesday. We were in separate rooms, lawyers going back and forth. I never saw Olivia directly. Her lawyer came in strong at first. Rosa sent them back with our evidence packet. They were gone for about 40 minutes. When her lawyer came back, the tone was completely different. They countered with asking for $15,000 and splitting lawyer fees. Rosa didn't budge. "Your client spent marital funds on an affair, abandoned the home, and we have documentation of premeditation. $8,000 is generous. She pays her own legal fees." Another hour of back and forth. Her lawyer kept trying to negotiate up, but Rosa just kept pointing to the evidence. Finally, they went back to Olivia one more time. When they returned, they accepted our original terms. $8,000 from savings, her personal property, her car. She pays her own lawyer fees, no modifications. Rosa said it was one of the cleaner separations she'd handled. "When the evidence is this clear, there's nothing to negotiate," she told me. Her lawyer knew taking this to court would only make it worse for her. I signed. She signed. It's done pending the court's final approval, which is mostly rubber stamping at this point. Here's the part that felt like justice, though I didn't plan it. Remember Bryce? Turns out his company has a policy about ethical conduct and abuse of company resources. Someone, I genuinely don't know who, made sure his employer knew he'd been using company time and company event budgets. Those networking dinners Olivia attended were billed to his department to pursue an affair with a married woman. He's not fired, but he's being reassigned. Lateral move, that's really a demotion. Olivia's not handling that well from what I've heard. I executed the purchase option on the apartment last week. It's officially mine now. I had to dip into my what-if fund for the down payment, but my mortgage is actually lower than our rent was. I'm repainting the bedroom this weekend. New color, new start. One small thing that felt weirdly satisfying: we shared a family music subscription. Spotify, $15 a month up to 6 accounts. I was the primary. Yesterday I removed her access and changed the password. Petty, maybe, but I'm done subsidizing her life. She's living with Bryce now, I think, or maybe back with her parents. I don't actually know, and I don't care enough to find out. That part of my life is sealed off. I've been sleeping better. The apartment doesn't feel haunted anymore. It feels like mine. Final update here. Things have settled, and honestly, I'm in a good place. The divorce is progressing. Separation agreement was approved by the court last month, so everything's legally binding now. The full divorce will be finalized in about 4 more months, but it's bureaucratic at this point. Olivia hasn't contested anything. I think she realized fighting would just expose more of what she did. I thought this whole mess was officially done for now. Then last week, the twist I didn't see coming. Text from unknown number. Freddie, please, I need to talk to you, it's urgent. I knew it was Olivia immediately, didn't respond. Then 2 hours later, I'm pregnant, please. Bryce wants nothing to do with it. I don't know what to do. I stared at it for a long time. Called Rosa before doing anything. Don't respond, she said immediately. This isn't your problem, and engaging opens doors you've closed. What if she's telling the truth? Then she figures it out with the father or her family, not you. So I didn't respond, but I heard through friends what happened. Olivia's pregnant, 8 weeks. When she told Bryce, he said he wasn't ready for that level of commitment and suggested she handle it. They fought. He moved her stuff out. She's back with her parents. She called 3 times over the next few days, left one voicemail. I know I don't deserve your help. I know I ruined everything. But I'm scared and I don't know what to do, and you always knew what to do. Please. I listened once, then deleted it. Honestly, I'm sad. Not for her situation, she created that. Sad that someone I once loved thought I'd rescue her from consequences she engineered. Sad she still didn't understand you can't betray someone then ask them to fix your life. I didn't respond. I didn't help. I didn't engage. I blocked that number. She stopped eventually. She's keeping the baby. Her parents are helping. Bryce blocked her on everything. The irony isn't lost on me. She left looking for freedom and ended up more trapped than she ever was with me. But that's not my story anymore. It's hers. Olivia and Bryce are done. His reassignment stuck. Investigation turned up. Expense report irregularities beyond just the affair. Not my problem. Financial stuff is solid. The mortgage payment is manageable. I'm rebuilding savings, and my what-if fund is getting replenished. Turns out being single is cheaper than I expected. No more spontaneous investment ideas to fund. No more expensive dinners at places I didn't choose. I meal prep on Sundays now. It's boring and I love it. Dating. Not yet. I'm not ready, and I'm honest about that. Maybe in a few months. For now, I'm just enjoying the quiet. Last week I did something small that felt significant. I went through my phone and deleted all the old photos of Olivia and me. Not out of anger, I just don't need them anymore. The photos were taking up space, both digital and mental, off my phone, off my mind. Thanks to everyone who commented on the original posts. I'm good. Really, genuinely good.